Moment I want to shift focus to Assam, and this is an appalling incident where a 14-year-old child was chained and caged by his family for the past 1 year. Sadiq Ali is from Chirang district. He was accused of being a drug addict by his family. His parents are small-time rice traders. They say they don't have the means to rehabilitate their only son. They said that this addiction had induced him, had led him to steal money, not just from home, but also other houses in the village. He used to steal money and buy drugs. No organization, no child rights group, no activist came forward to help them. The community he belongs to has also refused to accommodate him. The only option left for them was to shackle him, and that's the only way they could keep him from consuming drugs.
বান্ধা হয়েছে মোটামুটি 1 বছর হলো। কিও বান্ধিলে? বান্ধিল মানে ওই টেন্ডেড নিশা জাতীয় বস্তু, এই টেন্ডেড খায়, হয়তো গাঁজা খায়, সিগারেট খায়, এগুলো সব বস্তুই খায়, কিন্তু মানে টেন্ডেডটাই বেশি। এরকম বান্ধার পাশেও মানে ধরেন না হলে 30-40 বার মানে শিকল ভাঙিয়া, শিকল নিয়ে গলায় শিকল নিয়ে গেছে গা, যাইয়া ওই গেন্ডিং অফিসে কাছে, হ্যাঁ গেন্ডিংয়ে কাইটা তারপরে এক জায়গায় হয়তো চুরি করে, এরকম চুরি করে। নিশার কারণে নিশা যেতিয়া গভীর উঠে যায় চুরি করে বলে কি বার চুরি করবার বাধ্য, মানে এখন পয়সা নাই, মানে দিনের ভিতরে যদি টাকা হয় ওর হাতে মোটামুটি 3-4 হাজার টাকা দিনে লাগে।
And India Today's Indrajit Kundu now joins me with the latest. Indrajit, this boy can't remain chained to his house for the rest of his life. Any child rights group, any NGO, anyone coming forward to help?
Well, Gaurav, that's the most unfortunate part of this entire story. He has been enshackled. He has been in a cage for the past 1 year. His family clearly pleading that they really do not know how to handle the situation, that this fellow is a habitual drug addict, and that's the reason why, since they could not provide him a treatment, the only way they found the solution was to, enshackle him and keep him, stuck to one area. No organization, no NGO has come forward to help them, not even the Child Welfare Committee that is mandatory in each and every district. So hopefully after we've aired this story, the administration, the district administration would take note of it, and the CWC will wake up to this situation and come to the rescue of this child, this teenager who definitely, desperately in fact, needs attention.
Okay. Child's rights activist Ratna Roy now joins me for more on this. Ms. Roy, what can happen in a case like this? The parents say they have no money for rehabilitation, but the child can't remain shackled all his life.
Absolutely. The point is that it is true that often families do not have money for their treatment, but the larger issue and the larger perspective is the culture of treatment in our country. While there is increase in GDP growth, treatment and mental health remains on the fringes, and it has not touched modernity in the way we understand. It is rather archaic and traditional. The other larger picture is that the government policy and the government service have not mandated treatment of persons with drug addiction into their radar. And it is also very clear that child welfare committees are not acting the way they should do. So there are 3 things that we immediately need to get our attention to. One is to get the government to increase their services and in all kinds of mental health services. Second is activating the CWC committees. Third is, of course, looking at the larger treatment culture and health culture, because India right now is at a hybrid junction where we talk about modernity, but yet when we talk about mental health treatment, it remains regressive, archaic, and extremely traditional.
Absolutely. Ratna Roy, for the moment, many thanks for joining me here on the broadcast. Those are pictures you see of that 14-year-old child chained to a lamppost in the house. He's allegedly a drug addict. The family has no money for rehabilitation. Indrajit Kundu with me once again on this. Indrajit, if child rights groups are not coming forward to help, do the local police have an option in this, the local administration, the district administration, the MLA or the MP?
As far as the local police is concerned, I believe it is incumbent on them, to act, because this is also illegal. This is infringing on the human rights of a human being. Here it is a case of a minor, and even though it is the parents who are subjecting this minor to this kind of a treatment because they see that they really do not have any other option, it is definitely the first line of action should be from the, the district police, the local police station, to come and rescue this child and then inform the CWC and hand over this, a teenager who can then be shifted to a child's home, a teacher's home for some time, and he can counseled and proper medicine is provided to him.
Nilanjana Chakravarti is also a child rights activist who joins us on the broadcast. Nilanjana Chakravarti, what can happen in a case like this? The child is 14, the family says we have no money, we can't let him loose on the streets, so they chain him to the house. He's allegedly a drug addict.
See, the problem here, Gaurav, is that, in India, at the moment, he is actually a representative of the many lakhs and lakhs of children who are, who are habitual drug abusers. So the fact of the matter remains that the government and especially the Child Welfare Committee really needs to take a stern action on this and, actually monitor the situation.
Yes.
Because, if this child is chained like this, and who's doing it? The parents. So, it's like what kind of awareness levels are there in society today? I mean, especially in that belt. Or, in rural parts of India, or wherever, in the backward parts of India, what is the kind of awareness levels that they have? It's zero. At the same time, what about community service? There is no community service. What about the neighbors? See, the entire attitude, apathy, needs to be addressed. One. Two is the Child Welfare Committee. What is it for? Is it just a hollow body? What is the government doing? The government really needs to swing into action, get this boy out of this entire scenario and, rehabilitate him. Counsel his parents.
Yes.
Because, the parents also need to understand that, the whys and hows of the whole situation. This is something which cannot just be handled by chaining him. Tomorrow you might just find him dead for all you know, after a while. I mean, is this the way to treat a 14-year-old? I mean, I know he's a drug addict and, he's a cause of nuisance, all right, but there are different ways to handle this situation. So the government cannot shirk away, the Child Welfare Committee cannot shirk away, and of course it is a kind of violation of human rights, especially because, it's very, very ironical that the parents are involved here, but today the parents are involved, tomorrow if it's not the parents, it could be the neighbors, it could be some other person in the locality who could have the guts to do this to some other child.
Absolutely. Nilanjana Chakravarti and Indrajit Kundu, for the moment, many thanks for joining me.